You heard there is a big crisis, the earthquake in China.
Of course I have.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Well, it was very interesting because at first I'm, not happy about the way the Chinese are treating the Tibetans because I don't think anyone should be unkind to anyone else. And so I have been very concerned about how to think and what to do about that because I don't like that. And then I've been just, concerned about, how should we deal with the Olympics because they're not being nice to the Dalai Lama, who's a good friend of mine. And then all this earthquake and all this stuff happened, and I thought, is that karma when you're not nice that the bad things happen to you? And then I got a letter from the Tibetan Foundation that they wanted to go and be helpful. And that made me cry. And they asked me if I would write a quote about that, and I said I would, that it was a big lesson to me that sometimes you have to learn to put your head down and be of service, even to people who aren't nice to you, and that's a big lesson for me.
It's a packed schedule for someone who is almost 73. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is on an 11-day tour of Britain just 2 months after pro-Tibetan protests marked the Olympic torch rally in London and other parts of the world. The Tibetan spiritual leader, who is accused by many Tibetans as being too moderate, expressed his support for the Olympics.
I appeal to Tibetan people. I made clear, right from the beginning, we fully support Olympic game. Then Olympic torch is part of that. We must respect, we must protect them.
On Wednesday, the Dalai Lama addressed both houses of parliament, and on Friday, he will meet Prime Minister Gordon Brown. The British Prime Minister has chosen to meet the Tibetan leader not at Downing Street but along with the Archbishop of Canterbury at Lambeth Palace, a move seen by critics as bowing to Chinese pressure. The guest says his visit is non-political.
Basically, my visit, non-political. I express my appreciation the Prime Minister is showing genuine concern about Tibet.
While Britain wants to be seen as supporting Tibetan rights, it cannot afford to offend China. It's a tough balancing act, but one that Gordon Brown will have to face when he meets the spiritual leader later this week. With Akanksha Banerjee in London, Pavitra.
So what do you think of what Sharon Stone said about the China earthquake?
Well, she's really much concerned to what is happening. So at first she's not really, into Chinese